Cop Watch, policing the police every single day.
The people that got shot, this isn't about the community. I'm not talking about the community. The people that got shot, you need to step up and talk about who shot you.
Boston's mayor clearly could not contain his frustration after a violent 4th of July in the city. 5 people were shot. One of them was killed in a matter of hours. WBZ's Bill Shields is live at Boston Police Headquarters. And Bill, so far, no arrests, and clearly the mayor here wants people to speak up.
The mayor was very angry about all this today. And you know, gun violence traditionally goes up in the summer. 4th of July, that can be the zenith of gun violence. But yesterday, well, 5 people shot. That really had the mayor angry.
Last night, I think we had 4 or 5 people shot.
The sound of fireworks echoed across Fayston Street in Dorchester last night. But minutes earlier, it was gunfire.
Words were exchanged, and obviously instead of fighting with their hands, they pulled out guns and there was an exchange of gunfire.
A man was shot and killed on Brookford Street. Then a few blocks away, 4 people were wounded.
So the people that got shot, you need to step up and talk about who shot you. You know, and stop blaming the police and blaming the community and blaming society and blaming all this stuff. You know, if you get shot by a gun and you know who it is, then you need to help us out.
The mayor was clearly angered, not so much that young men were shooting each other and no one saw a thing, but rather a bunch of little kids were just steps away. 4,
you know, tough guys with guns and shooting each other. If one of them hit a stray bullet, hit the little baby in there, hit one of the little kids in there, what are we talking about today? It's time for the kids that are active in the game out in the neighborhood to step up, man up, and start to, you know, take responsibility for who they are, and never mind this coward way out of shooting each other and they're not telling anybody. You know, I'm not going to talk about it. That's what's frustrating today.
The mayor actually, despite that anger, the mayor tried to pull something positive out of yesterday. There were actually 5 guns taken off the streets by Boston police. Reporting live from the headquarters, I'm Bill Shields, WBZ News.
Boston mayor tells uncooperative shooting victims stop blaming the police. Molly Matkin. 8HRS. Edited. Boston Mayor Martin Walsh vented his frustration to reporters on Thursday. Boston Mayor Marty Walsh voiced his frustration about the lack of cooperation police have received from shooting victims in the wake of 4th of July attacks that left 4 people injured and 1 man dead. The people that got shot, you need to step up and talk about who shot you and stop blaming the police and blaming the community and blaming society, Walsh told reporters on July 5. If you got shot by a gun and you know who it is, then you need to help us out, he said. Police were called to Boston's Dorchester neighborhood at approximately 7 p.m., after adults at a party began shooting at one another in the street, WBZ reported. A children's bouncy house was just 20 feet away from the gunfire. Police said that 4 individuals were shot during the altercation, and 1 suffered critical injuries, Mass Live reported. The victims varied in age from 22 years old to their late 40s, and investigators found bullet casings from 3 separate weapons at the scene, according to WBZ. The thing that's frustrating about it, not one of them are talking, the mayor said. No one wants to say anything. You didn't see anything? You got shot and you didn't see anything. What bothered me most was that there were young kids in the neighborhood. They were little ones, little babies, Walsh said. They don't know what's going on. They're out to have fun. To have a couple cowards roll in with guns and think they're tough guys and shooting each other, you could have done some real harm to some little kids out here yesterday, and some innocent people, he railed. At approximately 10 p.m., police were called back to the same neighborhood for another shooting less than a mile away, NECN reported. In that incident, a man in his 30s was murdered. It's time for the kids that are active in the game out in the neighborhood to step up, man up, and start to take responsibility for who they are and never mind this coward's way out of shooting each other and not telling anybody, Walsh said. If somebody shoots you, you gotta talk about who shot you. You are going to hurt somebody else, the frustrated mayor continued. If you want to kill each other, it's a horrible thing, and I don't want to stand here as mayor and say, you know, we're justifying that, you kill each other. But what happens is you kill an innocent person and you disrupt a whole community, Walsh said. You send the wrong message to young people and you send the wrong message to children in the neighborhood. The mayor came under fire for his comments, with some people alleging he was victim blaming the people who had been shot. Gerald Grooms. At Platinum Chef. I can honestly say City of Boston has the worst administration running the city ever.
I don't know what message we can get to these people about shooting each other. I just don't know what to say. It just, you know, there's a lot of people, you put a lot of people at risk. And there's a lot of criticism depending how I say something, or you say you're critical of the community. I'm not blaming the community for the shootings. What I'm blaming is the people that have guns that are shooting each other. You are going to hurt somebody else. If you want to kill each other, you know, it's a horrible thing, and I don't want to stand here as mayor and say, you know, we're justifying that. You kill each other. But what happens is you kill an innocent person, and you disrupt a whole community, and you send the wrong message to young people, and you send the wrong message to children that are in the neighborhood that want to enjoy the fireworks. You know, last night I think we had 4 or 5 people shot, and the thing that's frustrating about it, not one of them are talking. No one wants to say anything. Oh, you didn't see anything? You got shot? You didn't see anything? So the people that got shot, this isn't about the community. I'm not talking about the community. The people that got shot, you need to step up and talk about who shot you. You know, and stop blaming the police and blaming the community and blaming society and blaming all this stuff. You know, if you get shot by a gun and you know who it is, then you need to help us out.
We have members of the faith-based community, the clergy. We have members of the nonprofit community. We have the sheriffs, Suffolk County Sheriff, Steve Thompson's office represented, BCYF, Boston Families. And basically what we spoke about was where we are in the city compared to last year. Started this time last year. And we did this meeting a little early this year because we've had a little more activity in certain areas of the city of Boston this year. And what we wanted to do was pull together all the resources and all the programming that we have in the city of Boston. And when you think about all the work being done in the city of Boston, there's an incredible amount of work being done to really focus on the young people in our city. We talked about working to improve and raise the number of summer jobs that we're going to have this year. We're working with our nonprofit partners, our for-profit companies in the city of Boston. We'll be willing to step up and hire more young people. We're working on revamping our own youth worker program in the city of Boston and making sure that we have more conduits out to the community. In this year's budget, we have additional trauma services in our community, working to really deal with the effects of violence. But we're also working on new ways of reaching out to parents, reaching out to young people about how do we prevent them from an act of violence. And that was a lot of the focus of today's meeting. We're going to be continuing to work on the street worker program. We're going to be continuing the street walks, the peace walks. All things are important, but I know that the questions that will come from you when this is over is, what about this shooting? What about that shooting? Well, the intention for today is to end violence and reduce the violence in the city of Boston. That's the intention of this conversation today. It's about dealing with the root cause of violence in the city of Boston. You know, when you compare Boston to other major cities around America, we are a very safe city. But that doesn't mean anything for me. It doesn't mean anything for the commissioner. When we have one homicide, and we have to notify a parent that they lost their child, that's a terrible situation to be in. What we want to do is reduce that number this year. So I commend all the folks that are here today, and I'd like to turn the microphone over to Commissioner Evans, and then District Attorney Dan Colley is going to speak. And we have a bunch of people here from civic engagement in the city of Boston. We have people from the faith-based community here. We have, as I said, all different people, so we can answer just about any question that you might have. Commissioner.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank everyone for coming to this meeting. I think the whole idea of this meeting was to pull all our partners together and have the best strategy going forward so we don't have any young kids shot in our city over the summer. We went over all the programs we're going to have to engage with kids, whether it's, Teen Police Academy, Youth Police Dialogues, so many, the tennis programs, the basketball. We do so much with the kids, but also talk about, where we need to deploy. We just put on a class, thanks to the mayor, 97 officers who are out in the district now. I'm hoping that will allow us to put more officers out on foot as well as on bicycles. We have a citywide bike unit. who are deployed based where the violence is, but we're looking to get more visibility out there in the playground, in the parks, everywhere, with the whole idea of working with the community to prevent violence. We talked about mothers groups helping us be proactive to prevent violence, but all in all, it was a very productive meeting. We're all going to work together to try to make this a safer city. We started out with prayer, and we ended it with prayer, hoping we have a peaceful summer. So far this year, we've taken almost 270 guns off the street. You know, in the last couple of days, I think we took 3 or 4 off a day. So we're trying our hardest, you know, to solve this violence issue. It's not about taking guns. It's about all of us working together. The police, the community, the district attorney's office, all of us, the parents, community leaders, because, you know, working together is the only way we're going to solve it. You know, I'm proud to say every year our crime has been going down under Mayor Walsh. Our arrests have been coming down. You know, the only thing that we continually have problems with is young kids shooting young kids, and that's going to be our main focus to stop the violence this summer. So I want to thank everyone for coming. I also want to thank the media for covering it, because we all have to work together, and you getting the word out will get people mobilized, hopefully to help us. So thank you. With that, I'm going to turn it over to District Attorney Dave Collins.
Commissioner, thank you very much. I start making an observation as just a citizen of Boston who's lived here my entire life. I want to thank the mayor and the police commissioner for the tremendous planning and preparation that's gone into this summer strategy. It's very impressive, and they are well prepared to deal with anything that may come this summer. So congratulations to them, and thank you to them as we all should be thankful to them as citizens for the work that they've put into this preparation. But gun violence, or violence and gun violence in particular, is impulsive generally. They can only do so much. And they've worked very hard to put a lot of things in place so that kids don't resort to picking up guns and shooting one another. So the message, I guess, that I would send as the district attorney now is this: please take advantage of the programs and the opportunities that are in place for you this summer. Arrayed to my left and right, there are so many people that want to help you. And my hope for you is that you, in fact, will take that opportunity and not resort to joining gangs, picking up guns, or using violence. I will say this: if you do, and we are going to come down on you very hard in our office anyway, we are going to try to hold you accountable and keep you off the street this summer. That's not what you want, that's not what we want. So please take advantage of these many programs. And if you're a community-based organization and you're not here today, I'd ask you to reach out to the police department and join in. If you care about this issue, join us to make this the safest summer in the history of the city of Boston. Thank you very much.
I'm going to ask one more person to come to this microphone. One of the things that I hear and the Commissioner hears a lot is untreated trauma. When a young person experiences violence, when a community experiences violence, how do we respond to that? We get in the Department of Services out to the community to talk to these young people that are hurting because their friend, their brother, their sister, their cousin, somebody they're connected with lost their life. And we're really focusing in the last 2 years, 3 years here now in the city in specific trauma teams. The person that leads that team is no stranger to Boston. He's a spiritual leader in that city, but he's also a leader in the trauma service that has marched off from the city.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you to all of the folks that have spoken so far. It really is the work together that will make the difference. As the Mayor said, the city has a trauma team that are very part of the neighborhoods that we're most concerned about. So those teams are in the neighborhoods that have capacity to get people into services, both practical concrete services, but also mental health services, so that people can be on the road to recovery after some violent incidents happen. We also have a team as Boston Trauma Response as part of JRI. They're part of our network. They are able to move around the city holding in my hand a card that we give to people when they're impacted by trauma, that we give to people when we're at a scene. And so the card talks about, the larger brochure that talks about what is trauma, how do you know it's impacting your health, your ability to cope, to go to school, to go to work, to build relationships, what you can do about it, and who to call for help. So who to call for help is a hotline number that's on the back of the car. And so if someone calls that number, we will respond, we'll reach out to them, talk to them about how you can get connected to services that will help you recover from your exposure to seeing or being exposed to some violence in the community that gets you on the road to recovery and the healing. Thank you.
And one last thing, Chief Rogers whispered in my ear. This is probably one of the most productive summer meetings we've had in the last 5 years. We just hope that it's the most effective, and as the summer goes on, we will know how that works. Open up for questions for anybody's questions for me, the Commissioner, Dan Conley, Mark Scott.
You mentioned that you want people to mobilize. People who are watching and listening, what would you want them to do?
We're going to be, whether it's a peace walk, whether it's helping identify some young people that might need help, maybe it's a summer job, maybe it's just a hug, maybe some others and families need help. Whatever it is, we have services in the city between all of our efforts that in the Sheriff's Department, the District Attorney's Office, that we can actually help. And I think that Commissioner Evans talks a lot about if a parent identifies one of their young people in their home has a gun, if they call us out to go out to pick the gun up, we will do that. But also we will provide opportunity services for that family to help them with some of the situations the family's dealing with.
Mayor, you said you're going to find some new ways of reaching out to parents and young people. What are some of those ways?
We're still working on. We talked about a strategy, so we're just putting it all together now. But we have a lot of mothers groups in the city of Boston. Is there an opportunity for us to mobilize some of the mothers to do visits? Father Doc Conway, who was here, talked about going to young people's homes that might have dropped out of high school. They're kind of in the shadows. Is there an opportunity for us to go to those homes, get those young people, re-engage them, whether it's a summer job or a program, so that they don't fall off the chart and we lose them forever? Things like that. In some neighborhoods, people when we do the peace walks at the 12th Baptist Church, Pastor Gerald literally knocks on doors of families, and people come out and they see us and we talk about it. So how do we get more engaged in opportunities like that as far as reaching out to different communities and different neighborhoods?
How many shooting deaths have there been in Boston?
This year, I believe, right now, I think it's about, homicide right now is 16. I think 3 of them were stabbed. So we have, and so we are up right now, 6 homicides, and we were last year, but last year we had 4, the day the doctors died, which is sad, and 2 others, so if we don't have any today, it will be down 2. So the good thing is we're down almost 10 shootings so far this year from last year, so overall gun violence is down. Unfortunately, we had 2 more deaths than we will have as of tomorrow. So, again, we're taking 270 guns off the street. A lot of young kids, which is concerning. Last week we had a 16 and 18-year-old fire shot behind the building, and the officers chased them down. So when we talk about strategy, we talk about getting the guns out of these young kids' hands. And it just can't be a police problem, because somehow they need the mothers to help us. Don't be afraid to call us if they need help. Community members, community organizations. But 4 months through the year, we have 16 deaths too many. But like the mayor said, we're probably clearly anyone would take that number for a major city. But we won't be happy until we have 0 homicides and 0 shootings.
Last question.
And the 270 guns, is that this year?
So far this year.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, to tell you the issue we're having, we got 3 guns off an individual from Maine yesterday, 70-year-old riding around the city with 3 guns. And, if he parks that car somewhere, then those 3 guns are stolen, and then we're out there dealing with the violence from those 3 guns. And, as we always say, we still have the gun buyback program out there, so people want to turn in their guns. If people want a gun lock, we have those. We usually send out letters. And obviously, if your gun's stolen, or you're going to sell it, or transfer it, by state law, you got to go into a computer database and record that, because that's the way we can trace guns and find out where all the guns are coming. So we get good gun laws here. We just got to you know, make sure they're enforced and also work with other states so they adopt our gun laws.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Police use who may want to retaliate against him physically.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.